Well, I'm just sitting here checking it out. I lit some candles up. I've moved my motorhome. I don't mind staying in my motorhome, you know, 10 days here or 5 days here or whatever, and staying at the ROM or staying up at the other end, or possibly going up toward, well, I don't know about Seattle. You know, God wants me to be right down here in this area. He brought me down here to Washougal, Camas, Washougal. And Stevenson, it's nice up there. I have some friends down here. I don't know if they're really friends. I think there's a few friendships here. But, you know, nothing I probably couldn't get over. I mean, to be honest with you, you know, all I know is, well, I know a lot of things. I know women are out of the equation. Just about anyone that's my friend. You know, there's a few exceptions to the rule. You know, you're an upstanding guy and you're doing what's right around people I love. You appear not to be treating people bad. Hey, you're A-okay with me. You know, I mean, I'm the fucking easiest goddamn person that I fucking know to be around. People stop at the bowling alley, goddamn, you know, you tell me your fucking problems and stuff. I tell you a simple solution. You go out the goddamn door. That's what George would do. He'd come down to the bowling alley and he'd give you a free cup of coffee and tell you about it. You know, I guess because he was always over there doing his little thing and stuff like that, and I guess it did kind of rub off a little bit. But, you know, he kept busy. He kept to himself. He didn't want to be seen as much as, you know, in the beginning. I hear a fire truck now. I heard a police car or something a minute ago go by. Loud fucking sirens. And this is the fire truck. At least he's not blaring his fucking horn. You know, the first one that went out here just blares his horn. What do they do? What do they do? I get to drive the truck. I get to run the horn. Well, who gets to run the fucking lights? If the guy that's running the horn is running the lights, you get only fucking flip on that fucking switch unless there's fucking, hey, you got to turn that on because you need somebody to get the fuck out of your way. It's like toot, toot, toot on the fucking horn. I think the driver should have that one because when he hears something or when he needs it, he just go like that, automatically go off, automatically go on. It's just like these here people with cars that go bang, 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 bang. You know, you friction people around me and stuff, that's not good. Because those people, they have this fear and this look and stuff in their eyes and stuff, and I read them just like my dad taught me to. You know, 13 letters for the Zodiac Killers, George L. Wright. No one can fucking dispute the bowling alley in Morton, Washington that's painted black inside. You know, why in the fuck would I have built a bowling alley and it ended up being black inside? And all the things that's happened here to Camas, to Port Angeles, Washington, to California, the whole 9 yards, and it had everything to do with Satan, Eve, and Adam. And it is what it is. It's reasonable chocolate. It's 70% cocoa. I don't know. It says dark chocolate. It's good. It's about $4. I stepped in the grocery outlet. This here used to be $2.99. It's really gone up since I don't go to grocery outlet. I stopped in and seen Hi to Prince. I always buy something if I go in the store. I wouldn't want somebody to say that I just come in the store to say something to somebody and walk out. I bought a steak before they got steaks just inside the door. But it's a little bit loose. I like the store, but the people just look like they're, you know, panhandlers. That's a panhandler place. That's a place that you wear your hat on backwards. And you, well, hell, I got employees inside that grocery outlet that wear stocking hats that wants to cover herself up. Fuck, I'd shave my head just like me and just go ugly if I was that fucking ugly. You know? I don't like it. And I'm talking about, you know, Tracy. Down there at grocery outlet. Shit, she looks hideous in a fucking hat like that. In there, she looks like a garbage person. Working there at grocery outlet, I goddamn will not go in there and fucking, if I seen her, I haven't seen her. I just seen her, it never got any goddamn better. I just don't like seeing that shit. And the girls next door over at Rite Aid, I think it's Rite Aid, yeah, it's Rite Aid, they won't go over to grocery outlet. The girls that I know, and I know a lot of girls, and the pizza girl from next door at Champion Pizza. I think I just mentioned that I like the girl at Champion Pizza when I was talking to Veronica, and then I got the opportunity to talk to the girl at Champion Pizza, and she's really nice. She smiled, and I think we had, you know, I know that when she's seen me and I seen her, we were outside the business, you know, we have this connection when we see each other where she just smiles. And, you know, I know she's a nice girl. And anyway, she's just a nice girl. I said, you look good at Champion Pizza, but to be honest with you, I don't like Champion Pizza. So if I go in there to buy something, I'm going to have to buy something I like. I wonder if they have good breadsticks. Champion breadsticks? Do you have Champion breadsticks with that Champion Pizza? Because I'm on a pizza diet. I came in to get the Champion, that's it, pizza sticks, pizza bread. Do you have it with the sauce so I could take home and drink with my Corona? Hey, I drink Corona beer. My first wife was named Karina. Do you think there's a connection to the two of them? Because every time I drink a Corona, I think of my first wife. And my first wife was my best wife. And I'll tell you what, my second wife couldn't get over the fact that I was married to someone prior to her. And to be honest with you, I'm so bitter with the second one over everything that's happened. And anyway, it's just, it's not a good thing. And it's a terrible thing, is what I say. And, hey, Yahshua inside the cup, Yahshua outside the cup. And you know what? I just had a good day. And you know, the essence of this here conversation is, you know, it doesn't rain when I'm off from the Rama. It's nice and sunny right here where I'm at. It's nice. See, God wanted me to show me what was happening up north, and it was a terrible rainstorm, especially when I blew the long and the short past Bonnie and Ernie's. And by the way, I hope they know who it was, and I hope they realize that it dumped rain immediately after. And here we are here in Camas, and it's dry, and I got to talk to people today. 3 people, 4 people, you know, good quality people. Anyway, you know, that's what it is. And if you knew better, you do better if you watch the videos and stuff and all that. and I just like quietness. I really do. So if these are law officers would, I don't know what's wrong with these officers other than they don't want to do their job and they want to harass me, and it's going to fucking cause problems for everyone. But hopefully they'll just fucking leave me the fuck alone, because Satan and Eve will never leave them alone for what's happened. So I don't really give a fuck. How's that? I mean, I don't want good people hurt, but I don't want bad people around good people, now do I? The earth is mine. The Holy Father says this earth is mine to do with what I want. I want all these people washed out of here. I want all this riffraff and stuff washed away from me. That's what I want. I don't want to be harassed. I want good people living in good houses. I see Donald Trump signing bills today on the internet. I don't know if he did it today or not, or when he did it, but he's doing it. And they handed him an American flag, and they had to tell him what the fuck American flag was. When it was folded up in a triangle, handed it to him like it was a service flag. He didn't even know what the fuck a flag was. You should watch the YouTube vid, or you should watch it, whatever it was. It's just on the fucking news. It's just right there on CNN, NBCS, whatever. But he can't even fucking, and he's your guy. And he runs the country blindly. But, hey, Donald Trump, he's the Antichrist. And by the way, it's all symbolic. He has to go, and he's going to be laid down before the kings of the earth. Susan Jane Donahoe and Donald J. Trump is connected at the hips. And it may be as symbolic as it is. I hate Susan Jane Donahoe's guts, and when I see her, it reflects the inability of the Camas Washougal cops to fess up to the truth of what happened to 1007th Street. Causes absolute goddamn grief, heartache, hardship. The Holy Father's just fucking smoking hot. He hates everyone. I know. Well, I should say, maybe not the Holy Father hates everyone. He knew you were before you're born. It's Eve that hates everybody. She hates all these fucking men. Oh, she hates men. Eve hates men. And now I'm connected to Eve, so I fucking don't hate. I don't like him any more than she does. I have outstanding ones that are separated completely from these other bullshitters. Goddamn fucking garbage people. And Susan Jane Donahoe is one of these garbage people attached to him. I seen Veronica the other night in front of Champion Pizza, where the girls seen me talking to Veronica, and I gave Veronica 2 cigarettes. She gave me a little Reese's ice cream. I accepted it with a smile. I said, look, most people, they wouldn't even take this from you, would they, Veronica? They'd pass on. Oh, no, I'm not. No, thank you. And is that not true? Oh, yeah, that's true. I thought I could talk to Veronica, and Veronica's like, thank you so much for stopping and talking to me. She could have, she did. Here, I didn't have my cigarettes in my hands. I had it back at the car, and I said, hey, I got my cigarettes over at the car. I'm not making a goddamn excuse up for not getting you a cigarette. I said, matter of fact, I'll get you 2. That's how I fucking am. You know, Veronica's handicapped. She's a handicapped homeless person. And I do have a soft spot for Veronica. I could joke with her. I could kid with her. She's totally fucking honest. If you fucking just are honest with her, I mean, it's something to talk to Veronica. I mean, that most people, they would never stop and talk to, you know, somebody such as her. Especially the way that I have the ability to talk to people. You know, Veronica said to me, she says, I said, you know, Veronica, from where I stand right here with you, shit slides downhill. And she goes, I want to get to the top of the mountain. And I said, well, it's a lot easier to get to the top of the mountain if you're walking a straight line. You know, and that's the truth. You fucking get cleaned up, you get straightened up, and you walk a straight line. And you know what? I told Veronica, I said, Veronica, you're doing it. She's doing a fuck of a lot better than she used to. And I'll tell you what, there's a couple women that's at the dollar store that's been losing weight. They're looking pretty. They're looking like they're leaning up and they're standing up straighter every day. And I sure do admire that out of women, especially because, you know, these women I feel they're on their own anyway, because men don't treat them right. You know, I say, you know, hey, I was weaned off the tit a long time ago. Hey, I had Denise Johnson, and that's the psychiatrist's wife, talk to me about, you know, these people that have a crisis a minute, like Susan Jane Donahoe and all them, or all these her people that run up to you, you know, oh, and they want to get you all flustered and stuff like that. It's like, hey, I'm not the one with the problem, it's you. You know, come running up, I need a lighter. Do you mean to tell me you don't have a lighter? You know, no, I don't have a lighter, and even if I did have a lighter, I wouldn't fucking give it to you, nor would I loan it to you, or nothing. Do you know how it goes from one thing to, you mean to tell me you don't have a lighter? Demanding shit from people and they don't have nothing. You know, it's not like, I don't have nothing to offer men. He's going to pay for your sins. It's Yahshua inside the cup, Yahshua outside the cup. Anyway, I'm just rambling on. I've been tired. I haven't slept much. I got some sleep. I feel better. I had nice. And it's nice here when I'm out and about, and when I go away, or when I go to the Rama, total fucking storm and shit. You know? And when I leave the Rama, I hop my motor. Hey, what was these cops doing? Trying to get me in my motorhome and move so it'd stop raining? I mean, hey, I'm on to that one too. Yeah. I'm at the Rama. With the Ramas. They should have their own TV show. Yeah. I'd come in. It'd just be like, Prince is going to be the star of it. And then his family members, they're going to be the stars of it. And then we got the maintenance man that works there. We got the crazy woman that walked by my room the other night and looked through the window, and I walked over to open up the door. And I said, yeah, I thought I seen somebody walking around out here. Close the door. You know, you know, I have it out for that bitch. She goes this. I pulled into the driveway, and she goes like this, and she goes, fuck you, John. You know? And she goes, have you met my friends here? There's 3 Mexicans next to her. And I said, yeah, I have. I met these men the other day. I like them. I don't like you. And I fucking just walked off. I didn't give a fuck. I said, you know that. And tough love fucking helps, I'll tell you that one right now. Because she comes back and she says, I'm sorry for flipping you off. And I said, that's nice. I mean, it was days later that I gave her that, well, that's nice. You know, so you're sorry now. And I'm supposed to be okay with it, but you're sorry. But you think you're fucking sorry yet? You're not sorry yet. Women are out of the equation. I'm not so vendetta to a crazy woman. But if you give them an inch, they'll take a goddamn mile. And that's where we're at today. Hey, I'm the Holy Father's son. I don't mind explaining things. And, you know, a lot of things happen. God is good to me. And it's not what you think. In God's relationship is one that's like this. He's going to make me what I have to do to make this work, to get Satan and Eve out of hell at the end of this whole goddamn process. It's like being a victim on Wesley Snipes' bus, you know, 57, whatever the hell it is. You're driving down the freeway and you can only go a certain goddamn speed. If you fucking speed up, it'll blow up, and if you slow down, it'll blow up. So you just gotta keep everything on a fucking kilter of just this smooth fucking ride around me. You goddamn got that? And you probably will live a lot longer. You'll have better chances of not have to use your earthquake insurance. You know, it's an awful mess when things get all goddamn messed up. And also, you know, if you did what God says, he'll probably be a lot more goddamn happier. You know, you put him first in your life instead of last in your life, and you'll become in first place with God instead of last place with God. You know. Anyway, hey, I'll talk to you later. I don't know if I should upload this or not. It's 22 minutes. I'll have to see what the numbers are. And I'll talk to everyone later. I just hang in there and I do the best I can because, you know, I go down to the river right there and I sat where Eve was at. And, you know, the other day, I forgot to tell you guys, when I get down there, I took 2 donuts down there and coffee for one. And I sit down there and I finally look over the edge and I look straight at the water, you know, and I see my reflection. I know Eve can see me at that point real good. And I tell her, donuts for 2, coffee for 1. You know, too bad you wasn't here. You know, if I would have just reached out, touched her, or ripped that veil off like I was fucking wanting to see what this woman actually looked like, and I knew I recognized her. So, but, you know, if I would have touched her, well, it wouldn't have happened. The switch, Matthew would have still been alive, I feel. And that wouldn't have happened. And that would have been over. She kept telling me, you can't touch me, you can't touch me. She told me that in that house up there at 561 Northwest Rhode Island place, my mom's place. She told me up there, you can't touch me, you can't touch me. You know, that was the rule of her coming over. She says, but you can't touch me. And that was very apparent. And then this woman, same woman, was saying the same thing down here to me. And I found out if I would have just reached out, touched her, or did that if I would have touched her, we would have both died. You know, we would have our lives would just live out right here and die. And our lives would be over and the earth would have died too with it. And that's one of the things that they were avoiding. And that was one of the reasons why it happened the way that it did, you know. I think that it was a real terrible thing. that happened. So anyway, and if you watch the videos, you knew better, you do better. Yahshua inside the cup, Yahshua outside the cup is the most important thing about it. And all I have to say is, you know, God demands that these people fucking pay, or it will never end. Because why? I hate your guts. I really do hate everyone's guts. And you're in a very dangerous place because I hate your fucking guts. You see, I can't stop fucking hating people. Even though I love people, I hate people. I seen Susan over here. You know, I was kind of reluctant to stop in there, but I guess I'm glad that I did, because I went and got 2 donuts. You know, and I guess I did them exactly like Susan wanted me to do, because, you know, I just didn't want to have a goddamn problem ruffling someone's feather. And she fucking acted so nice, like Teresa had a good talk with her and stuff, and, you know, maybe she watched one of my videos and stuff. I mean, I'm just telling the truth. But, she was a lot nicer. And you know what? I didn't want her to lose her job. She's over there working tonight. She's working a fucking long shift. And I know that they have a little bit of problems with personnel. And, you know, I've seen Vicky not there very much, and her back was hurting the other day, too, by the way. And anyway, I'm out of here. I hope everything's good with Vicky. I really do. And she was nice. And I'll talk to you guys later. Her and her husband. Talk to you later. Bye.